to have our political science and international affairs professor at the University of Mary Washington. We have Dr. Stephen Farnsworth here joining us, and thank you so much for taking the time.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, Dr. Farnsworth, let's talk about the presidential election. All eyes, of course, on this historic election. What do you make about the voter turnout? Big numbers coming out early. Democrats historically have had higher early voting turnout, but President Trump really encouraged Republicans to get out and vote early. What are you making of the numbers?
Well, I think it's really early to read too much into these numbers, and a lot, of course, will depend on which state we're talking about. One of the things, though, that the Republicans have done more effectively this cycle than in the past is absolutely getting more early votes in. That's great for the campaigns because then they could spend Election Day focusing on the people who haven't turned out to make sure that they actually do on Election Day. So the good news for the Republicans at this stage is that the turnout gap isn't as great as it was 4 years ago, at least with the preliminary numbers from some of the states that closed early. But the bad news for Republicans is that the numbers of same-day voting in Pennsylvania in particular are really, really high in the Philadelphia area. You're looking at neighborhoods that are seeing far, far beyond the turnout of 4 years ago. And when you think about Pennsylvania, the real question is how big is the margin in Philadelphia and what impact will that have with respect to the rest of the state, much of which is pretty Republican.
And Dr. Farnsworth, when we're talking about the popular vote versus the Electoral College at this point, there's some points where Hillary Clinton or Biden had to beat the Republican by 5-6 points just to win. And for Hillary Clinton, she didn't even win the Electoral College. Does that same statistic apply to this particular race, or are we looking at a change where it could even out, where Harris could end up taking the Electoral College and Trump taking the popular vote?
Well, I think that all sorts of things are possible with this election. If you look at the polling numbers throughout the last several weeks, you see over and over again the same story, that the Electoral College math shows a very, very close race, not only in the most important swing states, places like Pennsylvania and Michigan, but also you're seeing it across the board. All 7 of the so-called swing states of the key Electoral College states are all showing results within the margin of error in these polls. And so we go into Election Day, perhaps the closest election that we've seen in decades. And so the reality is that we could imagine a scenario where one candidate does get the popular vote, the other gets the Electoral College vote, but it's not necessarily the way it was back in 2016, where the Republicans had a bit of an advantage in the Electoral College versus the popular vote. We'll just have to see what we get, but no doubt about it, this is a close photo finish kind of election like we haven't seen in a long time.
Any chance for a tie, that like a possible, to stress everyone out even more, that possibility of a tie?
Well, it seems to me that the Democrats have to win in the Electoral College. If the decision is a tie in the Electoral College, then it will go to the House of Representatives. And in the House, where each state will have 1 vote, then it will depend on how many states have Republican majorities, how many have Democratic majorities. And it's quite clear that the Republicans will have a majority of those state delegations going into the next Congress. So you absolutely, if you're a Democrat, want to see a victory in the Electoral College. You don't want this to go to the House. If you're a Republican, you wouldn't mind the tie because then you can win in the House.
Well, we know, just buckle up. It's going to be a while.
Yeah.
All right, Dr. Stephen Farnsworth from University of Mary Washington with us tonight. Dr. Farnsworth, thanks. Great insight as always.